Well, I mean, the labeling of products is something that we don't like for obvious reasons. I mean, Europe is the main market for most of our, not most, but about 30-something% of our exports go to the European Union. And we have this free trade agreements with. How is this affecting? I'll tell you one story. And this is the story of SodaStream. SodaStream is a very successful Israeli venture that was once in Ma'ale Adumim, in the territories. Half of its workers were Palestinians. Now, when these things were started in Europe, the company, in order to save itself, decided to move to the Negev. And the ones who suffer, and they are doing very well, but the ones who suffer are the 500 Palestinian families that don't have work. Again, I think that this whole thing, by certain circles in Europe, is blown out of proportion. But I think that the story of SodaStream is a very telling story. You hear those so many Palestinian families that rely for their living on this. Yes, please.
One very fast question.
Could you tell us something about the financial situation of the Hebrew University?
Huh.
How much money did you pay the garden?
That was a very,
Because
it's a nice closing.
my brother is retiring from the Hebrew University, so I want to be sure that he's going to be paid.
How naive. I thought that you wanted to know what the deficit is in order to write your check. Well, I'll tell you something. First of all, the Hebrew University has 6 different campuses. And to run 6 different campuses, 3 of them in Jerusalem, 1 the agriculture in Rehovot, 1 the veterinary in Bet Dagan, and 1 is in Eilat, the marine biology. Now, to run 6 different campuses with 23,000 students, you know, it takes a lot of resources. Second, we are the oldest university, which means that the percentage, and people tend to live, thank God, forever in Israel, the number of retired professors from Hebrew University that get their pensions from Hebrew University is very big, and we wish them all longevity. Now, because we are the oldest university, back in the old days, the system was, you know, a different system of pension. I mean, of course, for example, when I retired from the foreign ministry, the government continues to pay my, but the combination of these 2 things, the fact that we have to pay so much for pensions, and the fact that we have to run 6 different campuses, you add to that the fact that in Jerusalem, the 3 campuses we have, you have some added security needs, okay? All of this means that, and in Israel, as you know, the tuition, I mean, we are not the United States. You don't pay $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a year to learn. I mean, the tuition for the bachelor degree is what, $3,000? Something like this. I mean, it means, and the government subsidizes part, but we have to rely on resources from the outside to complement these things. You know, when I started at Hebrew, I went from one faculty to the other, for each dean and each director, a head of school, and I asked, listen, we are number 50 in the world, which is something to be very proud of. What would it take for us to be number 30 in the world? I mean, and the answer of everybody was, well, young guy, bring us $200 million every year, and we can assure you that, because it's unimaginable. I I mean, the cost of, when you think about, nowadays, I know it because I deal with it, talk about brain sciences, and just the equipment they need there. I mean, for me, a microscope was this thing I was playing with when I was in school, a microscope. Today, you're talking about $2 or $3 million for just one piece. I mean, so the university is struggling, negotiating with the government a solution to the pension story, I mean, which takes a huge amount of our budgets, struggling with this. But, I'm optimistic with, I'm sure that we will find a solution to this pension, which, by the way, is not unique only to us. They have it in Weizmann, they have it in all the other universities. But we, being the oldest and the biggest, we have the most, in terms of number, of professors, emeritus that we have to support. But as I said, we wish them longevity. Life expectancy in Israel, believe it or not, even though we are such a divided, crazy society, life expectancy in Israel, for some reason, is among the highest in the world. The Japanese, I think, are the #1. Israelis are #3, and sometimes you say, what? We, these nervous people that keep yelling at each other? Well, it has to do.
It has to do with whom?
What? With hummus. The hummus. No, I'll tell you a story about hummus. Not hummus. I'll tell you a short story about training. Okay. When I went to the Faculty of Agriculture, I wanted to meet the young scientists, and they told me, okay, you should meet this guy. He is one of the leading young professors. He's in his 40s. I meet the professor and ask him, what is it that you do? And he said, I work on sumsum, sesame. Now, I have never seen in my life a sesame plant. I said, what is there to work academically on sesame? Well, I got the whole lecture. First of all, sesame is the source of halva and tahini and this, and it must be a very healthy food. It has the nutrients you have without the cholesterol and the other things. Okay, what is this guy doing? Those of you who have seen a sesame plant in nature know that it is a very big thing, and with sort of, not flowers, but like flowers around the sesame seeds, around the
Stems.
the stem. And the sesame seeds are inside those flowers.
Pods.
Now, the Mother Nature opens them so that the wind can take the seeds in order to create more seeds. Now, what is this young scientist doing? First of all, he is increasing 10 times more seeds inside the thing, and then he developed a species that does not open, so that you can cut them and have as many seeds. Why is this important? This is going back to feed the world. I remember when I visited Ethiopia, there are certain countries there that live on sesame and this. So this is, you wanted hummus, I gave you hummus.
Not only with